This video will show you how to use the counter interface or the numerical interface on the 2011 rt-evp device. First thing you need to do is to boot up the device. Hold the enter button for 4 to 5 seconds. It'll boot up. Defaults to the main file section. Once you're in there, you have to go to the menu, so tap the menu button one time. From there, you need to scroll down and select record quality. You see the little check mark? Record quality. Enter. From this, you need to change from 96K. The bit rate has to be changed from 96K to 48K. Press enter. Next thing you need to do is drop it down to record playback and press enter. This is the playback time. In this case, it defaults to 5 seconds. That's the time it takes from the recording to encode the data and decode the data and play it back. You need to turn this off, so adjust using the down arrow. 4, 3, 2, 1, off. Then hit the enter button to confirm. And then we exit from this by hitting the escape button on the side. We're back to the main file menu. The next step is press the record button, initializes, goes into the recording mode. Now to enter into the counter interface section, simply tap the menu button. As soon as you're in there, you're still recording, okay, but we haven't made our adjustments yet. On the right side, you see a microphone sensitivity bar graph. The bar graph is scaled in decibels. It goes from a minus number, in this case a minus 40, to 0. Just remember that we're dealing with negative numbers. Despite the fact that it says negative 40, that's actually a very small value. So we have to adjust our EVP threshold or set point at a higher level. On the bottom is a horizontal bar graph. This horizontal bar graph right here also depicts dB settings. You need to adjust that at a higher sensitivity setting than what the average dB level is indicating on this vertical bar graph. So if you look at the number here right below the vertical bar graph, you see a number changing. With everything quiet in the room, look and see what that number is, and then set your threshold for your EVP trigger higher than that. So if I'm quiet for just a moment, I can see that the threshold or the actual live sensitivity level right now is detecting about 28 dB. So in my case, what I want to do is I want to be at a higher level down here, so we're going to adjust it. I'm going to adjust it for about 10, just as a example. Alright, we just adjust it at 10. So there's a 10 right there. That's my set point. Once I make that selection, you simply hit the enter button. It recognizes your setting and confirms. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15. Okay. You can see the counter moving in accordance with my speech and my talking. You have the ability of setting the sensitivity from simple whisper to a shout, or anywhere in between. So it's really up to you, and the parameters that you set can be changed at any time. Alright, so right now we're recording and counting, and that's one way of using this. You can actually use it during an EVP session where you can ask a question. As soon as you're done asking your question, you stop and you look at the last number recorded, and you wait to see if the number changes from there, indicating that you received some response. Alright, to exit from this, simply press the escape button. Right now the recording is paused. Everything is basically latched. If you want to resume that exact same recording, you can do that. Simply press the record button again and get back into the counter by pressing the menu. and you can resume. Let's get out of this for now. Escape, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the record button to save that recording. Done. Now if I wanted to look at the counts that occurred, where they are, and the date and the timestamp, you press the menu button one time. Then move on down through until you get to counter. When you're at counter, press enter. Okay? It shows you basically the first count of 61, and you can review and scroll through all those counts. There's 2 of 61, 3, and so forth. Every time you press the up arrow, the cursor will go, the sliding bar graph, right here, that little line, will jump right to the EVP where it is on the file. Okay? Every time it received some artifact that was recorded, it only jumps to that location. Let's say that you wanted to hear what was recorded, number 13. You bring it to 13, press enter. It immediately plays. Okay? So it will immediately play that exact location. Let me save that. Alright, the next thing I want to show you is how to turn the device on and off automatically. This is really helpful because this is the data logging section of the device. Now we've already set our sensitivity of the microphone. We set it for like 10 or so, whatever it was. Now to get into turn this device on and off by itself, simply hold the menu button for a few seconds. All right, we're in the record play section. Next thing you're going to do is hop on over to the toolbox, press enter. Alright, this is where you adjust all your system settings. When you want the system to turn on and off, the auto power down, the backlight time, if you want to go off automatically, all these other things, the date, the time, all that stuff. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll on down until I find auto time select. That's where we are right now. You see it scrolling by. Press enter. There's your start and your stop. Let's say that you want the device to turn on in 60 minutes. Using the plus and the minus on the side, adjust it until you get to 60 minutes. This means that from the time you press enter, this thing will sit idle for 60 minutes and then turn itself on. Right now I have the stop time 180 minutes, that's 3 hours. That's a good investigation time. You can set it for anything you want up to 6 hours. So once you have that selected, okay, we've got our stop time at 180, right? Then simply press enter. Alright, that means that we've now initiated the timer. I didn't set it to go off in accordance with the date and the time because a lot of people lose track of that and don't bother setting it up. So this is independent of that. Once you're done with this, hold the menu button for 3 seconds. We're back to our record play section, then press enter. At this point in time, simply set the unit down and walk away from it. Retrieve it in 3 hours, and when you come back, it will tell you how many counts you received, where they are, the date, and the timestamp. And all you need to do is go to those areas, as I showed you, through the menu. You're going to come in here, you're going to drop down and go to the counter, press enter, and you're going to look at any results captured. And simply select which ones you want to listen to, okay, and then press play. The entire file will be recorded for 3 hours. The only thing that feature allows you to do is separate any artifacts or anomalies that are captured during that period of time that exceeds the limit that you have adjusted to. So we had adjusted it earlier, so we have that set, and if it exceeds that limit, boom, you catch an EVP or anything else that may have triggered it. So this is a data logging feature The numerical interface is kind of cool too, because the numerical interface will allow you to ask questions, look for responses. You may want to use that and say, can you give me a number for how many members are on your team? You can use odd and even numbers for yes and no responses. There's a lot of things that you can do with a little bit of creative ability there. So use it well, and good luck with it.